New coaches and hypnotists often wonder whether they should charge for their first clients. The hesitation usually comes from being newly certified, lacking confidence, not feeling like they're fully ready, or thinking that free sessions will build their experience. And some of those things might be true, but what I want to bring your attention to is that free sessions can create harder client dynamics because they have no real investment. When there's actually no cost, the client has very little motivation to change. Now, think about someone in your life that isn't motivated to change. How hard would it be for you to be able to help them? And so, them raising their hand to say, yeah, I'd like to do a free session with you, that's a tiny bit of motivation, but it might be driven more by curiosity than actually wanting to change any behavior. There's no skin in the game. The exchange of money, even if it's a smaller amount, creates some skin in the game, which can increase the commitment and their willingness to actually follow your lead and work with you to create a result. There's this misconception that you can just make anybody change if you're good enough at hypnosis. That's not true. They have to actually want to change. And then what can happen over time is that you can end up doing too many free sessions, getting a bunch of mismatched results because there's a lack of motivation. And then it ends up backfiring on your original purpose, which was to build confidence, to build competence. You're not experimenting in a real world context. And so you might be learning behaviors and practicing the wrong things because you're not doing it in a real environment. So my advice is to charge from the very first client. Paid clients are easier to work with. They have a real commitment. And so if you still want to make it more accessible early on, you can definitely do that. You can charge less than what you plan on charging in the future, but don't make it so low that it's basically the same thing as free. If you're charging $20 for a session or $50 for a session, they're going to still treat it as something that they're just kind of, they don't really care if anything happens. They're more just curious about what is this whole hypnosis thing about. Charge enough that it's like a little bit of an investment, like at least a few $100, because that will give you actual proper training and proper practice for what real sessions are actually like. And so please do not rely on free sessions as the main way to build confidence. If you want to get more reps in, you can mix this, but try to at the very least make it so that you're doing both at the same time. You're getting some clients that you're working with for free, and then you're getting some clients that you're working with and you're getting paid to. And with those that you're charging, pick a fee that creates real commitment. And one of the positives of this too is it creates some good pressure on you as well. If it's $20, you might not care if you fail. Whereas if it's a few $100s, you're going to actually be invested as well. You're going to do everything within your power to make that a good experience for them. And I think people think that hypnosis is something that can happen anytime, anywhere. But the best trainers, the best teachers have long emphasized the importance of the hypnotic context. The more that the client is invested and takes you seriously, the more that they're willing to participate, the faster and better the sessions will go. And please remember that role play practice and real paid clients are just two different worlds. You can practice different skill sets in both contexts, but they're very different. And then obviously there's the business element to this as well. You deserve to start making money with this. But even if you don't want to be motivated by the money, please remember that it affects their commitment, your pressure in a good way, the whole frame of the session, and then your ability to feel confident afterward.